picture. We don't have to worry about it. Alright, so we're going live, baby. Alright, so once we get up here and running here. My glasses, by the way. Waiting for us to get up and running. Close that, close that, close that, close that. Uh-oh. Saying we're having connection issues.
Yeah, I was having a lot of those earlier.
So was I. I hope our internet, we have the same internet provider, just hope the wiring's better in our new place.
Well, if we look at to see when it was built, it might be better.
I'm getting real sick.
Because apparently they don't update the wiring inside at all.
Yeah, I'm getting real sick of this lagging stuff. So, let me launch the chat. Is that mine or is that yours?
For sure they're both yours, but I'm gonna finish them.
Alright, you wanna just grab me a bottle then?
No, you go grab one.
I grab one. So you've started. Let's catch everybody up about where you're at before I jump into some stuff. So, welcome, Dennis. By the way, so you have been working on your. I'm gonna turn this on. A lot of content today. Yeah. I am tired. But we gotta push through it, man. Gotta push through it. All right, so what is this? Is that? Are you in there?
A little bit.
All right, so let's go over a little bit. You have to have that one high. So you've been working on the portfolio project, right?
Yeah. So.
And.
I was trying to fix. As you guys know, I'm doing a vertical menu, and I was trying to add some like look to it or style to it, and I broke my code. And I spent so long fixing it. I was like, there's got to be a better way. And then I Googled better way of a vertical menu, and turns out there's a better way.
Yeah.
So looks like I'm redoing my code.
And so part of that is I didn't want to.
And he didn't want to tell me there was a better way.
Yes, because I think that there's benefit to failure when you're starting out. So I wanted you to struggle through it and get there. Now I'm going to, because my advice is maybe to make a simpler page as well, just getting started, and then when we actually make your dev portfolio, you'll do another one of the one you want. That's part of my advice.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to show you right now is you've been using JPEGs for the menu and PNGs.
Yeah, it turned out you can use something else to call those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to show you right now.
Okay. I already saw it.
You understand how it all works?
I mean, as far as I can understand how it all works, yeah, but I haven't messed with the code, so how does it work internally, or what affects what? I'm not quite sure.
All right, cool. So that's what we're going to go over right now.
Okay.
So for those of you guys who don't know, that kind of the standard, you have something called icons. Most of the time, most of the icons you see come from one guy, fontawesome.io. Font Awesome is kind of the go-to icon guy. I'm a big fan of his. I've used his. It's the same ones that I'm using on my website, coding, which, by the way, it's a funny thing. Apparently, I never told April I had a website for the channel.
Yeah, he mentioned it, and I was like, what?
So, all right, well, let me show you the website. But you see all these?
Yeah.
These aren't JPEGs. These are actually icons from Font Awesome.
Yeah, Google has some too.
Yeah, we're gonna be using Font Awesome because that's the more common one. Good, just to get you familiar with it. Stream is real laggy. I'm sorry, man. There's nothing really I can do about it. It's just my shit ass internet, man. Even though I'm plugged in and we have.
It's not even our shit ass internet. It's
the wiring.
in our shit ass apartment.
Yeah. So in a month, we move. I'm hoping the wiring's better. So I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it lagging. Um, hopefully it'll clear up. It's been shit all day though. So I'm sorry about that. All right. So all right. Let me go through here. So we have my icons, background. This actually uses an API which pulls from YouTube. So this is my most recent video. And Patreon page, PayPal, YouTube has all my analytics and stuff like that. And then my social media again. And then that goes to my YouTube page. I have an About Me page. It's not the most impressive About Me ever, but I was trying to use different like things for each. So this is all built in Angular, by the way. And then I have a store page, and this is where the stickers are and things like that. And then I have tutoring services as well. That's basically all that's up here right now. So when I was building this, I never actually got to building my own dev portfolio. But yeah, I love this picture you took, by the way. This is one of my all-time favorite pictures. Although something in it reminds me of my dad, which is weird.
It's the way you're holding your shoulders.
That's why I'm holding my shoulders?
Yeah. Your dad, you sit the same way, and you sit the same way as your dad, and you walk the same way as your dad. That's why I always find it so funny.
All right, so anyhow, so that's my website, baby. You've seen it all now. There's no other pages that I remember. There may be one or two pages that are built that never actually went up. So, Font Awesome icons are. And let's jump straight into the icons. And so he's in iteration 4.7 now, but he adds tons of icons. There's even a free Codecamp one, which is pretty cool. And in here, and they have something for Etsy, that everything you can imagine. These are all icons that you can use, and it's all free. All you have to do is link it over with a link file. And a lot of times when I go and I try and find an icon, I'll just search for, oh, that's an email. I'll search here for, let's say a home page, right? And then you have your home icon. So let's take that as an example, because that's one you had on your portfolio. Mm-hmm. So the way that you do it, once you import the file, you remember how a link tag works? Mm-hmm. There will be a link for you to get this, and then you copy this, and you have you assign a class to this I tag, and you say fa-home, and so that's the name of this icon is fa-home. Everyone's telling us the stream's lagging. I'm sorry, guys. Let me see. I know it's lagging. Let me see if there's anything I can do. My fucking upload speed is shit right now. Why does it hate me, baby? Alright, anyhow. So sorry. But we gotta move forward here. We're studying. So, it comes in different sizes as well. So, the cool thing about Font Awesome, it's all designed kind of very so there's the basic size. You saw, like in this one, we have Camera Retro. So it's fa Camera Retro, and then you have fa large, fa-2x, fa-3x, fa-4x, fa-5x for the size of it.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it's straightforward, easy to use. But this is what you should be using when you're using your icons. And so you'll see here an example of some vertical menus as well. So something to look into. I believe this is using Bootstrap. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to create a vertical menu, that'd be the good place to look. And you also have animated icons as well for certain things. You're not going to be using any of this, I don't think, unless you want to. Stacked icons. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes, that's what I've been wanting.
What?
It took me forever. I was fucking with my icons. I was like, I want them stacked.
What do you mean stacked? Like in a button?
No, like how they're on top of each other, but I want them. I don't know. My whole
I got
coding
you.
is a mess.
It's all right. It's don't sweat that. It's a learning process.
I know.
All right. So that's how you would do the icons. So when you go back and you're gonna swap them out, make sure you use
I'm
font.
not swapping anything. I'm starting from scratch.
Okay. So when you start from scratch, you're gonna want to use font awesome moving forward. Okay. So we're gonna start back on the JavaScript.
Okay.
Sound good?
Mhm.
All right. All right. So
Oh, wait a second.
what are we waiting on?
Nothing. I need to check something.
This is slightly different than the version you're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Cause like I don't know how to get out of that.
Remember I told you that this is gonna have more stuff and be slightly different?
Okay, yeah, because I was going through my thing, and we got to a point on there where I was talking about, oh crap, I don't remember, but it stopped at the, like, you can divide congruent augmented functions. That's where it stopped, at the division one.
Okay.
So I didn't get a chance to do all this other stuff we've been doing, the multiple array stuff.
Yeah, and that's fine because we're covering more. All that stuff should be in here. This is just more. It may be a little jumbled.
Okay.
So what we're going to be talking about is an array. So array. Remember how we had like a length function on strings?
Yeah.
There's also a length function to arrays as
Okay.
well. And there's other functions, and we're going to be talking about one of those right now. So say we wanted to add a value to the end. And typically this is what you'll do is you'll add a value. Like say an example of that is say we put in two numbers, user puts in 1 to 10, and we want it to print out 1 through 10.
Okay.
We would push that, we'd push from 1 all the way until it hits 10. And you just push it to the end. So they go in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But push allows you just to add the item to the end of the array. It's one of the most common things that you'll ever do in coding.
Well, then what would it be an example of one of those common things?
Just what I said. If you wanted to count
No,
from
I know,
1 to
but
10.
like, would the calculator use something like that?
Yeah. So remember how we had an array? If we wanted to, and we want to store the order of input in order. We want it to go, if we put 1, we want that to be 1. If we put 2, we want the next one to be 2. So the way that we make sure that they're in order is we push to the array. Because if we push to the array happy joy, it will add an array happy joy here to the end, right? If we push the number 2, it'll add the number. If we were to push the number 2 to this array, it'd be like this. That would be the actual result. So you see here, in this example, they give you our array. We have Simpson, J, Cat, and then it pushes an array to it. And it's the last one. Now, if we were to push another item to the array, that would be the new last one.
So it adds to the array?
Yes, to the end of the array.
Right.
Now, there's other ways to change the array, but push specifically adds it as the last item in the array.
Okay.
All right. So in this case, if we wanted to add, we want our array to have a dog 3, we do myArray.push, and then we'd pass in the array dog, comma 3. And that would be, come back John 23, cat 2, dog 3.
No idea how you would use that, but okay.
Well, exactly like we said, we wanted to keep things in order in the list, and
But arrays just keep things in order, and you can add to the end of it.
Well, arrays store things, multiple things.
Okay.
So, like in the calculator example, an array would store your inputs. Each number that you inputted, an operator would be pushed to the array. So it would go 1, and let's say we added 2 to the first spot.
So it also holds, like, those variables, right? The ones that just sit there as a placeholder?
The parameters?
I don't know.
Are you talking about in the function?
Yeah.
You could push that value to an array, yes. So like, let's say we had our add function and we wanted to push it to the array. For whatever reason, that number, we could push it to our total array, and then at the end we'll just calculate the total.
Okay.
Then you have the pop array. So similar, it's the exact opposite. This adds to, push adds to the end of the array. Pop removes the last item in the array. So like say in our calculator example, we added a number, but we actually didn't want to add it. It was a mistake. We fat fingered it. So in this case, say we hit the back key, it actually pops it off of our last entry. That's what's happening here. So let's say this is an array, and each one of those is an index spot. When we hit back, we just popped it. Pop, 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 pop. It removes the last item of the array.
Why would you need... Oh, okay, so like the clear.
Yeah, it clears that last spot only, and push adds to the end.
Okay.
So sometimes you...
So the clear button would be the pop function on a calculator.
If the clear button only removes the last thing. I don't remember what does what.
Well, there's a couple buttons. There's one button that does do that. Okay.
There's one that clears all of it, and there's one that just clears the last.
Yeah.
Whichever one clears just the last is the same thing as pop.
Okay.
Alright. Let me make me...
Sorry, I just got extremely tired.
Yeah, it's alright. Do you want to have a coffee? No? I don't know.
It's really late already.
It's Saturday. It's only 6.
It's too early. It's too late.
Alright. So, that's pop. So we want to remove the last item from here. How do we do it on the array? So, our array right here popped off the last value, and now we have 1, 2. Now, we can actually, oh, by the way, we can actually store these values as we pop them off. So let's say we wanted to pop it and store it.
That's such a weird thing.
So in this case, say removed from my array, we can actually store that value. Now, so in this case, removed from our array is the last value of 3. So this value is 3, the new variable, and our array value is now 1 and 2.
Okay.
So we're like linking them together a bit.
A little bit. Okay.
So in my array here, when we call .pop, what is removed from my array? What value is that?
Well, which one are we removing?
From my array. See?
No, I know, but my array has 0 and 1.
And which one is the last one?
Oh, 1.
Yeah. So we're always popping always is removing
always
the last
one.
So removed from my array is an array of cat and 2, and my array is now just a 2-dimensional array with John and 23 in it.
Maybe that's why I was like confused, because I didn't want to get rid of the cat.
Yes. You didn't want to get rid of the kitty. Alright, so
Coincidentally.
So similar to how we just removed the last item with pop, there's a way to remove the first item as well. It's just becoming loose from wear and tear. So that's where shift comes in. So shift actually is essentially just pop on the front.
Is there a pop in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you specify where in the middle essentially.
Okay.
Because, you know, not everything's going to be 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Your array could be tens of thousands long. Alright. Excuse me. So, in remove from my array, we want to let it equal my array. And we're going to remove the first one. And so what is our value of my array after we shift it?
Dog 3.
Good. And what value are we storing and remove from my array?
John 23.
Good. All right, so there's also unshift as well. So shift removes the first one. Unshift actually puts a new first item. Push adds to the end. Unshift adds to the beginning.
Okay. Pop takes off the end. Shift takes off the front.
Mm-hmm.
Unshift pushes to a
new front. So what was in the 0 index would now be the 1 index, and what was in the 1 index would now be in the 2 index.
Okay. And there's another one.
Push adds to the end, and pop removes from the end.
Yeah, okay.
So in this case, we wanted to unshift my array. So we shifted this value out, and now we want to shift into the array. You notice we don't have to store it in a variable if we don't want to. Oops. And usually you won't for the most part. If you're getting rid of it, you probably don't need it.
You don't need it to go in a variable?
Usually not.
Huh.
It depends on what you're doing with your code, but typically you don't need to store something you're getting rid of, right? So we unshift here and we pass in a parameter. Remember parameters? We pass in a value. And so what are we doing here? What are we passing in? We're passing in.
We're pushing something to the front, right?
Correct. And in this case, we're passing Paul 35.
Does Paul have to be stored anywhere, or can you add that out of just?
We could store it in a variable and pass the variable in, or we just pass the value in.
Okay, so that value is just something we're making up and putting in.
Correct. Just to kind of illustrate the concept.
Okay.
So we're adding this to the front. So now our thing would be Paul 35 dog 3.
Yeah, I saw the new printouts they have for free code Canvas. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep. Welcome, Kevin. Sorry for the lag. Apparently my internet's garbage today.
Well, the wiring.
The wiring is.
I wonder what fucks with the wiring.
I think it's the heat. I really do.
Oh, yeah. Because that would be the only difference. It's really hot today in Florida.
Alright, so... Holy shit. No joke, look at this. I dropped 20,000 frames. 48% of this has been skipped.
What do you mean 48% of it's been skipped? Like it just...
I mean, this is an unwatchable video.
Ugh. That sucks. That's a lot.
Yeah. I fucking hate Bright House.
It's not even Bright House, it's just wiring.
Bright House should fix the fucking wiring.
It's not their apartment building.
That's,
the apartment building should be doing it.
That's true. So create a shopping list in the variable myList. The list should be a multi-dimensional array, several subarrays. There should be at least 5 subarrays in the list. So we're gonna. What's a multi-dimensional array again?
It has different types of values in it.
It does, but that's not correct.
Oh. Multi-dimensional
it's an array. Has an array within it.
An array. An array has an array within it.
Yes, that would make it a multi-dimensional array.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Alright, so the first elements in each of your subarrays must be strings. Alright, so in this case we have a myList variable, and we're going to have another array in it, and it says the first one should be string. So for it to be a string, what do we have to do?
Symbols, characters, sentences, or words. I don't know if the symbols are right.
I don't think so. Characters, letters, or words are correct.
Letters.
And how do we denote that with quotation marks, right? So in this case, we'll just do dog food. All right, and the second element of our needs to be number. So let's say we're buying stuff from the store, and for our grocery menu, instead of dog food, we're buying cat food. So we're gonna buy 5 items for the cats. Each one of these arrays within our array. So this is your grocery list, cat list, grocery cat list, right? And that we have an array of things we're gonna buy. Each one of them has what it is and how much it costs. So if we wanted to add something to this array here, what does a can of cat food cost? We'll just do whole numbers. $1?
Yeah. Like, yeah, makes sense.
And so if we wanted to add another...
Actually, they're probably less than that.
Yeah. We'll add another one. What would be another item that we would add? Litter, maybe?
Yeah. Well, okay, so the reason why you would have, what is it? Dimensional?
A multi-dimensional array.
Multi-dimensional array. Would it be print out a list of stuff?
Yeah. So in this case, like, say these are all items, the way that, like a site would know what it is every site has a bunch of info about each one of those items on, like,
yeah.
And so it has, like, descriptions, it'll have price, it will have keywords. And so this is kind of a basic example of the same thing of, like, say you're going to the grocery store and you put down what you're how many you're gonna buy and what it is you're buying. You have a list, but then you have more details in that small list.
Okay.
All right, so
It's not $3. It's like 12.
all right, 12. So in the interest of time, because they want us to enter 5 of these, I'm just going to Control C. And run it. Do they not like that I have 5 items in my list.
The first elements in each of your sub-arrays must all be strings.
Is array is not defined. Oh, this is it messing up because it is an array. So let's go ahead and refresh this page real quick. There you go. The tests were just messing up. No big deal. All right, so remember functions? What are functions again? Let's do a refresher.
They hold values.
Joel, welcome. All right, so no, not really.
No, not really.
Now, what was it? What was the word that you used? The word recycled for functions.
Oh, yeah.
Now, why did you use that word? Because
you're able to reuse the same
code.
Code.
So functions store your code, and you can call it and reuse it.
Which I find so odd that it just doesn't happen naturally.
Computers are actually really dumb.
Yeah.
And so...
I know that.
So...
They're only as smart as you.
Yes.
At least they're consistent.
Are you calling me dumb?
No, I just read a whole article about this.
Well, the point being is that a computer can only do things